Born to Ride is sponsored in part by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL, representing riders since 1988. Offices throughout Florida, 1-800-FL-LEGAL. If Instagram is your thing, we're there. We're everywhere. Follow us at #Born to Ride Motorcycle Media, your #1 motorcycle resource.
I'd rather be, you hear me? When life starts to act like a bitch and stress me out, I grab the bike and hit the road and let it out. Oh yeah, Florida ride or die runs through my veins. You can tell when you see us at the track or on the fast lanes. Come check the vibe on how we roll, come ride with us. It's an affair, she's my mistress, just a nitrous. Popping clutch, doing a century, we will ride or die. However, we never ride faster than the angels fly. Florida ride or die, ride or die.
Folks, I think you just got yourself a little hit of some Uzi Dre right there with a Ride or Die theme song. That's going on right there. Let me tell you something. We are getting ready for some Florida Ride or Die, teaming up with Born to Ride. A lot of cool stuff going to be happening there that we're going to be unveiling throughout the show. The show is jam-packed for you today, folks. I don't know if you got my Facebook post, if you've been following my stuff. I know you've been following Born to Ride stuff. Because if you don't, you better well be getting on that. Get on, make sure. Born to Ride Multimedia, all kinds of stuff. And it just keeps getting better here. Every Tuesday night we do this 7 to 8 o'clock, Born to Ride Radio, live from the Palatial Studios here at Extra Medium. Mr. Nightlife is monitoring things in the back, making sure things don't get out of control. But I will tell you right now that the star power just keeps getting bigger. Now, the last time that you saw this lovely lady, we were right in the midst of I think we were just coming up on the peak of the pandemic. So she was in here with Antonio. The last time we saw her, she had the mask on. But we got to welcome back to the show our girl Heaven Fields. There she is, right there, maskless. And I got to tell you, you made the mask look sexy, but this is much better.
Yes, I agree.
Hey, welcome to the show. Hey, listen, jump right up on that mic. People want to hear you. I mean, listen, when we put it out that that you were going to be on the show, the phone lines and the social media pages have just been blowing up. So people got to hear what you got to say. First of all, again, welcome to the show. How are things? Everything good at home and whatnot?
Yes, everything's great. Out riding again.
It's nice to be out riding.
Yes.
I got out and put 200 miles on the old Honda.
Nice.
On Sunday. What kind of riding do you like to do?
All kinds of riding.
Yeah.
Every type of riding.
Just
Group
get on
rides.
as long as
yes, all
it's
kinds.
like they say a bad day of fishing is better than a good day of work. We just replace what with a ride instead of going fishing.
Correct.
That's what I'm talking about. Lots of folks checking in. Listen, if you got folks that need to be exposed to Born to Ride Radio right now, make sure that you send them a little text message. Facebook.com/Born to Ride TV magazine. They can lock right in. Make sure you guys are chatting. Our phone numbers scrolling across the screen right there at 813-525-5560. If there is something that you would like to address, if you'd like to say hi to Heaven, by all means, we would love to have you join the show. We've been kind of getting a little laxed on the phones, and look, I have the request line right here. So I was waiting for some of you folks to give us a call. So Heaven, how's the pandemic kind of slowing down around your place? Are you somewhat getting back to normal? How are things?
Yes, we had some group rides and events that were scheduled that we had to put off.
Mm-hmm.
Some other things that we were looking forward to doing, charities, etc., kind of what we alluded to talking about previously. So
Yeah.
now we can actually work towards doing some of the things we wanted to do now and start implementing them. If you follow the Florida Ride or Die page,
Mhm.
then you'll see, too, we have some bike washes that are going to be coming up, some
Uh-huh.
exciting events and,
Nice.
and rides to be going on in the future.
I'm going to get right on that because I know the admin over there at that.
Yeah.
I know her personally.
Ah.
See if we can get right through. That's her, folks.
Yes.
She will make sure it gets right through to you. So make sure you check it out if you haven't liked that page as well. I just sent my request in tonight.
Perfect. Thank you.
Definitely want to spread the word, and we might have to give our boy Antonio a call here a little bit as well. But before we do that, last time Antonio was in, and he was a big star of the show. But we've got you in here this time. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, and how'd you get into riding in that?
Well, I'm from the Tampa Bay area.
Are you really?
Yes.
You and I are. Listen, there's not many of us left.
No, it's true. That's
Not
true.
many of us left.
Yeah, that's true. I started riding at a young age.
Mhm.
Started off on dirt bikes. My
Yeah.
first bike was actually a dirt bike. It was a two-stroke YZ85.
Yeah.
So that's what I actually started off on,
Mhm.
and then worked my way into street bikes.
Right.
And it was cheaper for me to ride motorcycles when I was younger because I didn't have to insure them,
Right.
etc.
Right.
So kind of became a hobby and then fell in love with it over time more and more. So
Yeah. Very
a
nice.
lifestyle.
It really is a lifestyle. We end up talking about that pretty much every conversation we have with any motorcycle enthusiast that rolls through. We talk about what a lifestyle it is and how you either get it or you don't get it.
That's true.
And it's hard to talk somebody, and we're going to go into that a little bit later on, but it's kind of hard to talk to somebody that doesn't really do it. And kind of get it through until they actually get on a bike or sit on the back of a bike. And even then, sometimes they don't get it, and maybe it's one of those things. It's just not for them. But as you know or may not know, it is Women's Rider Month, which is why we're bringing in all of the lady riders that we can get a hold of and get in here. And of course, Heaven is no exception. And tell us a little bit about dive a little bit deeper into your passion for riding motorcycles and how you got involved with Florida Ride or Die and Antonio and all those great guys over there.
Yeah, no problem. I started as a child riding. I started on dirt bikes, but it became a passion of mine when I was young.
Did you just ride casually, or did you get into the
I
racing?
got into the moto.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
And my mother actually seen a fatality of a younger boy
Oh.
that was riding as well, racing, and she wanted me to no longer do that. I had sponsorships, everything,
No
and
kidding.
I stopped.
And how old were you when that happened?
I was almost 13
Wow.
when that happened.
Man.
So yeah, I was young, and then I had to sell both of my bikes.
Uh-huh.
And so then when I got an opportunity to start on sports bikes, that's when that happened.
All right.
Went the other direction. But I've always loved it. I've always encouraged women to ride. I've taught women to ride. A lot of times they don't want to, or they're reluctant because they feel like a male will talk down to them, that they're not going to be good enough, that
Right.
they'll be scared or afraid of the bike, and that's probably one of the worst things that you could do,
Yeah.
because you are in control of that bike.
Right.
When you just let it become a passion and it is something you enjoy, and you let the fear go away, then you really will enjoy it. So I've gotten some friends into riding that are females. Even some males, some guys will ask me, like, hey, can you show me how to ride a motorcycle? I have
Right.
no problem with that
Right.
if anybody is interested.
Right.
But, yeah, one thing that I always tell people is just don't let that fear hold you back.
Right.
I even had some bad accidents myself, and people are like, why would you go back riding? That's stupid. And it like you said, it's hard to explain it to somebody that doesn't understand riding. It's a lifestyle. It's something I enjoy doing. There's people that enjoy surfing that's gotten
Right.
into accidents, that've got shark attacks, all kinds of crazy
Right.
things,
And they jump
get
right back in
into
the water.
Right.
Yeah.
So even for other sports, people go right back to it because it's something they love to do, and it's something I love to do. So I'll be right back doing it. Now I'm not trying to do anything crazy or illegal. That's not something that we promote.
Right, right.
But having fun, getting out and riding, that's definitely something.
Well, even on the other side of that coin is promoting safety.
Correct.
And I was reading through. By the way, a little side note: Heaven is on the latest cover of Born to Ride for the May 2020 edition, and it looks a little something like this
Oh,
right
there she
here.
blows.
So listen, if you haven't picked yours up, they're out and about.
A lot of the shops have them right now.
Yeah, I know. Got mine over. Actually, Antonio brought me a couple of last week or week before when he was here, and I went over to where I do the karaoke on Wednesday nights, over to Kahuna's, and they had a nice stack of them as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, they're out and about. I'm sure my boy Vic has been out working like he always does at the first of the month, getting them out so everybody has them. But make sure you get yours. You're going to want to hang on to that. Some great articles in there. Also, something I wanted to get sidetracked on a little bit here is we're talking about the Florida Ride or Die. They've got the media kit in here. So if you're interested, especially sport bikers, because the Florida Ride or Die is built around the sport bike lifestyle for the most part. And if you want to get involved, I was talking to Antonio last week. There's a limited amount of space, but they've got some big things coming up with Florida Ride or Die. Of course they do if they're partnering with Born to Ride, right? Yeah. So we've got a lot of cool things. They got a TV show they're going to be unveiling, and it's going to be, from what I understand, it's going to be sort of a pimp my ride sort of a theme. Like they're going to be going around to some of the mechanic shops and maybe taking somebody's bike and fixing it up. That is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see that. That
exciting
is
stuff.
really, really exciting stuff. But so speaking of the Florida Ride or Die, how did you get involved with those guys and Antonio? Because I know the last time and it's amazing to me, and I got to tell you, man, I got the utmost respect for Antonio because of the way he treats the lady riders, man. He puts them on the even plane. Don't talk down. You guys are even, and it's great. And that's exactly, he and I share the same feeling on that. But how did you get involved with Antonio and Florida Ride or Die?
Yeah, Antonio is a great individual. We got started meeting each other through a mutual friend, Elsa, but we talked a lot about the charity works and charity events, and he's seen I did some cosplay for some charity events as well, and he's like, that is awesome, and we just hit it off from there. So through another passion aside from riding was helping the community, and a way that we do that is through charity works, which we have some hopefully that will go through in the future. But, you know, a lot of people know Antonio Hernandez as the Spider-Man because he dresses up as the Spider-Man. He does that for the events. I've done Harley Quinn. I've done Elsa, a few different others. So I've enjoyed doing that, and so does he. So we kind of hit it off there and found out about other passions like writing. But it really was because of the charity work that we found that common ground and got talking about that.
Now, do you guys schedule and do a lot of, you know, I know there's a lot of charity involved, and we definitely want to dive more into that after the break, but do you find that you guys get out and maybe break off into groups, and do you guys do a lot of group rides together?
Yeah, we try to, and that is one thing that we're looking forward to doing here in the future. We have a lot of things in mind, and that we are trying to get going. It's been a little difficult with things still coming out with the corona and a lot of things being closed.
We definitely got to be safe, folks. I know a lot of folks are you know, there's some crazy things going on. As a matter of fact, the place I live today, the old folks were in there with their canes and their walkers, and they actually charged the office. And they're between managers. So this lady literally called the sheriff because she said she was frightened for her life. Wow. But they were mad because the pools were supposed to open up today, and they didn't feel like it was safe to open up the pool. Yeah. And they were hot. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on like that. And you know, I know a lot of us would love to just be able to flip the switch and everything go back to what we consider normal. But we've got to be safe about this, folks. So, I mean, and it's affecting everybody. It's affecting Born to Ride. It's affecting Florida Ride or Die, Antonio, and what we can do to even, you know, how we help folks out, because we all are involved in the different charities in one way, shape, or form. But it is just, it's crazy, and we've definitely got to do things safely. Tell you what we're going to do. We are going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we want to talk about cosplay. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, but if you haven't, we're going to fill you in on what that's all about. We're going to dive a little bit more into some of the great charity events that we've got coming up. This is Born to Ride Radio, and we're back in seconds. Don't even think about moving.
Born to Ride Magazine, the #1 biker magazine that delivers dynamic content for you, the reader, every month, has done it again. Stronger than ever, powered by Rubenstein Law. See the May 2020 issue online and on the streets, featuring Heaven Fields' Woman Power on the cover with her Ducati. Eric Runyon nails the cover shot. Liz Lewis and Elsa Rosenberg, Women Who Ride special interviews. Hope all the moms had a happy Mother's Day. Are you ride or die? Antonio Hernandez is. Find out about the new magazine dedicated to sport bike community of Florida. Is your motorcycle in the Safe at Home bike show? There is still time at BornToRide.com. Nefarious James deals up the Second Amendment, a loyal brother who delivers the smackdown. Let's not forget the meaning of Memorial Day. Never forget our veterans who serve by Terry Longpree. Stay in the fight. Operation Zero. Never quit on life as Rangers lead the way with Greg Blackwell. Jim Fannin, one of America's foremost thought leaders and life coach to the stars, gives us when life is tough. If you want horsepower and torque, Rob Schwellinger delivers it 100%. And get on board the Born to Ride Ocean Cruise for bikers February 2021. So read it, watch it, ride it, plus so much more. Born to Ride May issue on the streets and online now. For you, the reader.
Nice bike, but you're not on a track. You're on a road. I get it. Your bike was built to go all out. We all like to go fast. Just don't do it on the road. Save it for a closed course. Back it up. Here's a better plan. Performance is what it's all about. We all know that. But on the open road, we've all got to take it easy, because it's not a controlled environment. We need time to react to whatever comes our way. It's not about limiting our abilities. It's about living. The road is not your racetrack. Make the right choice. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Oh my God.
Send in your news, videos, posts, and rides to be featured on Born to Ride News.
That's what we're talking about, being extra safe right there. Don't do any of that crazy stuff. You don't. Ladies don't do that stuff. Women riders don't do that, do they? Heaven?
No comment.
Oh, my God. Honest to goodness, though, folks, when you're out riding around, try to be safe because, I mean, honestly, you know how it is. I mean, not only do you take yourself down, a lot of times you take somebody else down that's just an innocent bystander. Mm-hmm. Hate that, you know. Do that stuff in the controlled environment. These bikes are made, the bikes are unbelievably made these days, too. Unbelievable horsepower. I remember, what was it, 1982, and I had a bike that had a little over 100 horsepower, 1100 Kawasaki, and that was the fastest bike on the street at the time. But man, oh man, oh man, these bikes, you're getting the same kind of horsepower out of 600cc motorcycles now. Mm-hmm. Red line at like 14, 15 grand. It's crazy. Unbelievable. But be safe, folks. That's what we're screaming at you. Be safe. Cosplay. I was reading a little bit of the article on that. Do you care to enlighten us as to what that means and how it came to be?
Can't really say how it came to be, but I do know people enjoy dressing up. And if there's a particular character that you resemble or like a whole lot, like Antonio loves his Spider-Man.
Antonio is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah, so if that's something that you just enjoy doing, then, you like it. You buy the comics. Some people, they like it from when they're young with comics, different things. Some people just like it just because. There's different reasons why people dress up or do cosplay. Just for my personal background is for, like, the charity events. And I did it originally with another friend of mine that wanted me to go to one of the Comic Cons and stuff, and I really wasn't into it.
Right.
I wasn't. I mean, I liked the Marvel movies. I liked that type of stuff, but I was like dressing up and doing what?
Right.
So And then it was actually pretty fun. It wasn't my cup of tea at first, but then I got into it. I'm not one of those people to judge a whole lot until I try something. That's why I got into racing, different kinds of stuff, because I enjoy trying new things. So, and then that turned into charity events and so forth.
Right. So I read in the article on the part on you that you actually got down and started making some of your own costumes. Is this true?
Yes, it is.
How hard was that?
Some of them it can be kind of difficult, but others not so much.
Yeah.
When you have a passion again about doing something or your mind's set and you have a goal, then it just becomes fun. When it gets too stressful, it takes away from the fun. So just wanting to enjoy it, it's not to perfect anything, just to make it really nice so you can enjoy it. Yeah.
People get right into making those making costumes, and cosplay is costume and play. I guess they join those two words together.
Right.
So it's getting out and making your costumes and playing or doing charity events or having a great time with whatever it is that you're doing. So do you have a favorite one?
I do. My favorite has been Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Preferably like the newer one, like you know.
My girlfriend's watching. That's her favorite too. She got the whole ordeal.
Yeah.
She came in and beat me with a baseball bat.
Yeah,
No,
it's fun. It's fun.
I'm kidding. No, she didn't. So why did you go to that one? It just did it fit you well, or is that your hidden other side, the dark side?
Yeah, it's fun. I had somebody that was like, "Oh my gosh, you'd make a really good Harley Quinn." And when they mentioned that, I was like, I'm not so sure. And they're like, really look into it. And I already was doing cosplay stuff, and I was like, you know what? They're right. I should try this one. And I did it, and I fell in love with it. And I did a killer one, so I liked it. Yeah,
nice.
That one ended up being my favorite.
Well, one of the other things to talk about is you being a mom. And during the break, she ran, I got to go check my kid real quick.
Yeah.
He's sleeping in the other room. So we have to be real quiet. Don't
Yeah,
want to
he's
wake
in there
him up.
sleeping.
He'll come in here and steal the show. But have you ever done any of that where you guys dress up together and do some things?
Yeah, Halloween's fun with him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's only 3. He just turned 3. His birthday was in March.
Right.
So he enjoys dressing up too. He's a child, so he loves it. He loves all the characters: Spider-Man, Superman, all of them. So he loves it. He likes when Mommy dresses up too. It's fun.
Right. So how and what's your boy's name?
His name is Andrew, but we call him Drew.
Drew, nasty Drew. I like that. So what does he like the best? What's his favorite?
His favorite right now is actually Spider-Man 2.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, Antonio's not going to be able to do this forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, he might have to get in there and be Antonio's replacement.
Yeah, maybe.
Before long. So you have you ever done any of the charity events as Harley Quinn?
As Harley Quinn, I started to, and then the one it was actually one right before Corona got canceled. The one I was going to do.
Man.
So yeah, I never did. I did one as Elsa. The ones that I did for the children. Was
Elsa,
like
your friend?
No,
I was
Elsa the
gonna say
princess.
Listen, I've heard some things about Elsa. People are going to start dressing up like her because she's a superhero.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Well,
Yes.
that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother show. We got to get Elsa in here.
Yes, we're going to get Elsa in here.
We got to get Elsa in here.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd like to have you and Elsa and
Liz?
Lights Out Liz all back in here one time. And you guys just do the show. You guys can ask me questions.
Hey, we can do that.
I don't know if I'll be able to answer them, but that would be it right there. So you guys definitely get out and do a lot of charity. Now, you had mentioned to me that you met Antonio because you were doing charity events on your own. Is that correct?
I was doing them separate, but my friend Elsa was like, hey, I know somebody, and then told me about Antonio.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then I started talking with Antonio about it, and then it was, and you ride, and this and that. So then, really clicked. He was like, wow, this is
That's like
awesome.
all of the things we love to do.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So tell me some of the charities that are near and dear to your heart.
All the charities,
know
any
they
charity,
all are.
honestly. I can't pick like a particular to say, but I mean, obviously a lot of things that involve children, that I'm a mom,
Right.
and anything that involves children, it just hits something different,
Sure
when,
it does.
when a child suffers or needs help, or it does something to you. So even before I was a mom, I was doing charity events and stuff, and Seeing kids suffer or in need, that just does something to you. So you want to help out the best that you can. And even if that is just bring a smile to their face, if there's nothing else that you could physically do then do it. Because we have the capability to, then I'm going to do it. And that's what's really nice about it.
You know, a lot of times that is enough.
Yes.
A lot of times these charities, as much as they need the funds and they need things to help them to survive day to day, a lot of times just your time is the most valuable asset that you can give. And, you know, I find that a lot. I mean, a lot of folks say, oh, well, you know, I'd love to get involved in charity, but I have nothing to give, or I'm struggling right now.
Mm-hmm.
Your gift of time it means so much to so many of these things. I know one of our great friends of Born to Ride, Wayne Woodsack, Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch. They help so many young, kids become young adults, teach them life skills before they get out so that they're not just thrown out into the world and become another statistic. Man, my buddy Wayne just does amazing things, and he has just instilled that in my mind that, you know, Flash, maybe you don't have money to give, but if you could just come out and hang and volunteer and do some of the things that need to be done, because the manpower is needed as well. So that's also something to think about. Do you have anything? I mean, I know you'd mentioned we got some things that unfortunately got put off because of the coronavirus, and like I say, we're working diligently to get the world back on its axis. But do you have anything that you guys are working on?
Yes, we are. And I was talking to Antonio about it before, so I don't know what he wants us to reveal that we are.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, because I noticed last time on the show he said we'll get back to you on it. So I don't know if that's because he wants us to wait to talk about it.
And listen, Antonio, 813-525-5560 is our number if you want to call us if you're watching, and I know you are, because we're talking all about Florida Ride or Die. I want to know a little bit, if you can give me some more details on this TV show. Now that I read the article, it's talking about the Pimp My Ride style. People need to know. We want to know. So feel free to holler at us, and you can too, folks. Listen, we'd love to hear your comments, and keep it PG, of course, if you're checking in with us. Got to check in. We got a lot of folks that are checking in on Facebook. Tara watching with Stan the Man, Daddy O. Ron Hawks is watching. Crystal. Shout out to Jack Barry. He's got us fired up. The Single Sling, Tetherball, he's watching. Look, and Debbie Galetti's watching. Debbie, I wish I had some country music I could play for you right now. I really do. I know she loves country, loves her some country. Kirsty's watching from Flash and Friends. That's the show that we'll be doing tomorrow. Shout out to Big Dave G. He's got us fired up. So, again, folks, Douglas checking in. If you've got folks that you need to expose to Born to Ride Radio, we'd love for you to do it. All you got to do is send them a text, facebook.com/Born to Ride TV magazine. And, guys, what you've all been waiting for, we're going to get to next. We're going to talk about exactly what Heaven rides and where she likes to ride. Maybe you can run into her when you're out and about. Who knows? It could happen.
It could.
That's right. We'll talk about that when we come back. This is Born to Ride Radio. Don't move.
Born to Ride TV Radio live every Tuesday night, 7 to 8 p.m. with Dave Flash Morgan, special guest, and Born to Ride TV content. At Facebook, Born to Ride TV magazine. Read it, watch it, ride it.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer on average got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
It's Born to Ride's the Safe at Home Bike Show. A 10-class bike show for you to easily enter. Best of all, it's absolutely free. Just enter your photos of your motorcycle with your name, make, and model to our direct message, Facebook, or Instagram. Best of show to be featured with a photo shoot by Eric Runyon for the cover of Born to Ride magazine. So be a part of the Born to Ride Safe at Home Bike Show.
This is Born to Ride Radio, folks. We do it for you every Tuesday, 7 to 8. Special guests all up in the house. Every week we've got the cover girl, I guess. You're officially a cover girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Heaven Fields is the cover girl of the May edition of Born to Ride 2020. Get yours today. Make sure you check out all of the Born to Ride multimedia. You can do that at borntoride.com. We're actually working on expanding the show. I know we do this on Facebook every week, and we will continue to do so right here on the Facebook channel, but I have found new technology to expand. So we're looking to get it out on like the YouTube channel, on the Born to Ride YouTube channel. It'll go live. The Born to Ride Instagram, and just a bunch of different ones we're going to be setting up. And when we get all of them done here in the next week or so, we will definitely give you all the information, and or put it up in the Born to Ride magazine and borntoride.com. There's so much. Have you perused the borntoride.com? There is so much information about bikes and the folks that ride them. That's us. That it's just amazing. Anything you need to know about motorcycles, motorcycle shops, mechanics. A shout out to my boy Craig Paints Bikes. Not just a clever name. I haven't talked to Craig in a while. I got to call that boy, see what he's up to. He was actually working. Do you like country music?
I do.
A little bit. You like Travis? You like Travis Tritt?
Yes.
Now Travis Tritt, they had his motorcycle tank. I guess his guy sent it to a shop in Atlanta. And the tank had, I'm assuming the bike sat for a while, and you know what happens with this ethanol fuel and whatnot. It gets rusted inside, and it gets all messed up. So they sent it to the shop to get the tank liner put in. Well, let me tell you something right now. Craig is the master. If you ever need a tank liner, he is the man with a master plan right there. Craig Paints Bikes. You can find him in the Born to Ride magazine. You can find him on Facebook and find him, just Google him. But he is the best. But they sent Travis Tritt's tank to him, and the last time he was here, he was showing us the process of putting the tank liners in and just how nasty it was. We had some of the pictures of that thing, and the goop that they pulled out of that was just nasty. I'm telling you, and I'll tell you just a little tip from me for you, if you and you probably don't, Heather. You probably ride that bike every day, but. If it gets to where you have to set the bike up, if the bike ever sets up, this ethanol fuel turns, the water drops down and it rusts the inside of the tank, and it just can wreak havoc on the whole fuel system. Yeah. Like Wawa, and there's a 7-Eleven out on Gandy, close to the dog track out there. They have the high-octane non-ethanol fuel. Run it, man. If your bike sits for any amount of time, run you some non-ethanol fuel. And it's just the same thing like with lawnmowers and whatnot that sit up, especially in the winter months. And that stuff turns to turpentine in the tank. It's nasty. It's nasty stuff. But speaking of bikes, we if you haven't picked up your new Born to Ride magazine, it looks a little something like this. And you see who that is right there on the front. Can you see? Let me see.
It looks pretty cool.
Look at her right there, doing nothing dangerous
Not
at
focusing out
all. She's posing.
Yeah.
She's striking a pose right there. That's right. That's it. That's her. That's her right there.
Photoshopped.
Heaven. Yeah, we photoshopped that. What kind of bike is that?
That's my Ducati.
And that is yours?
Yes, that is mine.
All right.
That's my girl.
That your baby?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
My other baby, yeah.
Well, how many? Oh, yeah. All right. Well, never
my
mind.
son, and I have that.
Never mind. We talked about him. He's in the other room. Next thing you know, he'll be riding one.
Yes, yes. He's got a little electric one.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
Is it color match?
Actually, I gave it to Antonio to give to his little son now. Because
Yeah.
my son's outgrowing it.
All right.
And I went into Barney's.
Right.
And was looking for a one for my son, like a little 55 or something. But he's kind of scared. He still likes the electric one because
Right.
it doesn't make a lot of
Doesn't
noise.
make that much noise,
We're
huh?
working on it.
Listen, baby steps, as they say.
Yes,
literally on this point. So what do you like about your Ducati?
I like that it rides similar to my original two-stroke dirt bike. It's like the power band on a two-stroke is amazing. So when you get on a Ducati, it rides like no other.
Guys, if you didn't love Heaven before, she's talking tech talk right here. She's talking about two-stroking it right there. You know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
it. Yeah.
Two strokes haul, you know what?
Yes.
They haul ass. Listen, I'll tell you some two-stroke stories. Now you remember you're familiar with the Yamahas.
Yeah.
You remember the I think they were the RD 360s and the 400s. Those were those were the popular bikes when I was in high school, ages ago now. It seems like. Ugh, holy crap! Sorry, I just had a flashback for a minute. No pun intended. But those were the bikes. And remember, I was telling you I had probably the fastest production bike out in '82, which was the Spectre 1100 Kawasaki. Big cruising machine, rollback handlebars, shaft drive, four-stroke.
You were a cool cat, huh?
110 horsepower. That thing would fly. It would fly. Not to mention, I'd jack the carbs up and put a Kirker K2 pipe on it, and it would just fly. So one day, the old boys down there decided they every day for a year they wanted to race me. Well, you know we can't do that; it's not safe.
You're gonna end that story, right?
But the last day of school, I may have been having a bad day. I said, "Boys, let's line it up." And we went down to the end of the. There was a dead end road that went out probably about half a mile or so. And we took off. And I've told this story before on the show. So if you're getting tired of it, too bad. We lined up at the other end, and one guy, the guy that had the RD 400, had wheelie bars on the back. And I said, I felt like, what's the movie? Anyway, it was Val Kilmer that said, "Say when." And he got a little jump, and he took off, and we both just got on it. And he hit his wheelie bars and took off, and I flew right past him, pulled into the parking lot, put my bike up on the center stand, and started unstrapping my books off the back before he pulled in. So he pulls up next to me. He's out of breath. I don't know why. He was mad, I think. And first thing out of his mouth, he said, "You know, I had you off the line." And, of course, just like natural, I said, "Well, where were you at the finish line?" That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. That's a great one.
And that's good stuff right there. Listen, you can tell that one later if you want to. I don't mind. Oh, my gosh. So, we talked a little bit about it, but, now that I'm more mature and I don't do that sort of thing anymore.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you too. What kind of riding do you like to do? Where are your favorite places to ride around the area? Because, man, we've got so much amazing riding that goes on here in the Tampa Bay area.
Yes, we do. I moved from Lakeland not long ago, so I was living in Lakeland, and I really enjoyed Pace Road. There's a lot of curves.
Yeah.
There's a lot, if you're a rider, more than likely you know Pace Road.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun road, a lot of turns. If you haven't checked out Pace Road.
Where is it? I haven't.
It's
Don't know
kind of
that I
like,
have.
I'm sorry?
I haven't, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well, it's Pace Road.
Okay.
And it's fun. It's like
Google it, people.
Yeah, Google it. You can just Google it. If you're like around Auburndale area, you probably know too. It's all around that area. But anyways, it's fun. I did that a lot with friends doing Pace Road because of all the turns and stuff.
Right.
But any of the runs, like the North runs, doing group rides, doing the bridges, that's fun when it's not windy. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, it was a little breezy on Sunday.
Yeah.
We did the North Run. We went all up through Brooksville. We went up to this winery I'd never been to. It was really cool. Shout out to my boy Curtis. He was our leader, and we jumped on, and there's about 6 or 8 of us. And you know what I love? It's like I said, man. It's Women's Rider Month. We had a couple of the ladies with us, and man, they're shoot, they're right up there in the pack doing their thing, and I love it. I love the fact that more and more ladies are riding their own ride.
Yeah, they should.
I love that. I love that.
It's more fun if you ride your own ride.
It really is. It really is. And not saying anything that, for the ladies that like to kick back, especially on the full dressers, kick back like they're sitting in the easy chair at the house watching TV, eating bonbons, because that's fun too. Don't get me wrong.
I like to be in control, and especially of my bike.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
But what would you say? What would you say to someone, perhaps a lady, that they've been toying with it for a while. They want to get on the bike, but just can't quite muster up the nerves to do it. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a lady. It could be anybody, like you said. And listen, heaven will teach you how to ride right now.
Yep.
Right now. She don't mind doing it. What would you say to somebody like that?
Well, it depends more on the situation. If someone just got out of a bad accident, because I've had some friends that got in some really, really bad accidents, and they were afraid to get back riding. The first thing is I'm never going to push anybody to do something they're not comfortable with.
Sure.
But I'm also going to encourage them, that they are the ones in control of that bike, and that they shouldn't let that fear cripple them.
Right.
So if it is a female just wanting to ride, but she's nervous, so that's why I said it depends on the situation in particular. But if it's just somebody's like, I'm scared, just taking a step back and learning how to ride step by step, not just jumping into it.
Such an important thing to do.
Yeah. Actually listening. This is a problem I've actually had with male riders.
Yeah.
They want to get on and just go, which is fantastic, but not listening. Okay, this is something you might want to do, and it's other guys even telling them like, hey man, you don't want to push it, you don't want to do that. This is how you want to ride, and not listening, and they're getting really hurt. So one thing that I will say, just make sure if you are wanting to learn, be apt to listening and learning. Because people can always teach you something. That's what becomes a better rider, anybody. If you go to the tracks, like listening to the people that actually tell you, they want to help you. They do, for the most part. Most people want to help you.
Yeah, right.
If you don't think they are, maybe you shouldn't take advice from them. But I know for me, if I'm trying to teach somebody, I'm worried about their safety and all of that. So I just tell them, like, hey, this is the steps you need to take. Don't be afraid. Be comfortable with it. Be confident. Right. And then you'll enjoy it.
Right. And it's such an important thing to do, and it is. It's one of those things that you take in steps. And honest to goodness, like I say, you get onto borntoride.com. There are a whole lot of different places that they can point you for safe riding courses.
Yes.
Another thing, too, you can get on YouTube. A lot of these guys that race, you talk about having to have the ultimate control. They're riding bikes like your Ducati, and if I'm not mistaken, the Ducatis are made for racing.
Correct.
They are racing machines. They are built to run.
They're actually not meant to be going around in town. They won't ride to their full capacity if you are just riding around in town. So I also have a Ninja, Kawasaki Ninja, that I ride for like in towns and doing track and other stuff. I haven't rode it in a while, so what you did mention about getting it running again, I was like, well, there is another bike that I need to. So that bike does need to be going a little faster on. It doesn't like to go slow.
But there are tons and tons of guys who do these tutorials that are free, and it's online. You can check them out, because you'd be amazed at what different things to do, like counter steering, and one of the things that I hadn't gotten myself in the habit, and I rode for years before I saw this on a YouTube video. When you're going into a corner, people tend to look down and kind of watch where they're going, but you've got to look to where you want the bike to go.
Yes.
And that's such an important thing.
I have a story
and
for
now
that.
we get up on those windy roads you talk about.
Yeah.
Especially you get up in the northern area, up around Brooksville, what we call the mountains of Florida, and you need it. You don't realize that where your eyes are is where the bike tends to go.
That's so true. Yeah. Yes.
And you could try it. Try it in a
Don't try.
Well, don't wreck. But you look and see what happens. And when you're in a controlled environment where you can and you'll see the bike will start to drift that way. It looks to where you're going.
Yes.
So, and you just have to drive for everybody else. And there you go. I'm getting off my high horse, but that's really.
Well, you mentioned links to a while ago. This was back 2000, maybe 10. My friend told me to look up. It's called A Twist of the Wrist. So you guys can look that up on YouTube. And there's some other ones that show you about riding, tutorials and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So check that one out, plus other ones.
And it doesn't matter what kind of bike you ride, folks. You know what I mean? Honest to goodness, Heaven rides the sport bikes. I have a sport touring bike, but I'm a Harley guy as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
cruising.
And this is what Born to Ride is about. If you're riding 2 or 3 wheels, this is your place.
Yes.
It's all about all kinds of lifestyles and all kinds of biker lifestyles specifically. And so it is what it is, and we love it, and it's our lifestyle. And if you got somebody that's dabbling in it, man, help them out. Send them to the right things. Let them get a little educated before they jump on and do their thing. And like Kevin's saying, listen, be open to take advice from people that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's it. So, Heaven, we're about to run out of time, but is there any closing things you'd like to say for Women's Rider Month?
I'm sure there is. Just ladies, ride safe. If you have any questions about riding. Also, ladies, I know sometimes you don't want to always ask guys for help. There are plenty of women riders out there. Don't feel like you need to go to a particular person to ask for help if you feel like there are women that can help you too. You have these forums. I know sometimes people don't want to utilize those. Florida Ride or Die, you can ask questions in those. Put a link. Elsa and I will view those comments before they even get posted, so that's nice. So you don't have to worry about getting bashed, harassed, none of that. That does get filtered through us, myself personally.
She's the admin, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
So feel free to ask questions in there if you want to. Guys, too. Like, we have guys that ask there all the times, like, where's a good place for me to get this part for my bike? Where can I get this done? Where can, or do you know anybody for this? We have new riders come to Florida, and they ask to be a part of the group, and they're like, hey, where's a good place to ride at? So any kind of questions that you have, feel free to utilize that. But ladies, don't be afraid to get out there and ride. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We're here for you.
There you go. Well, Heaven, thanks so much for taking the time to come by. I know you got the little one out there, and he's probably chomping at the bit to get back to the house.
Probably.
But again, man, I would love to get you and Elsa and Lights Out Liz to all three come back and hang out one of these nights, and we'll just have a good time at it. We've got some great content in the coming weeks. Nefarious James is going to be coming back with us. You're going to have to check out that show. We've got a little tease here in this third block. Somebody that's in this third block who I will reveal after the break will be our next week guest. But again, thanks for coming, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me.
All right. This is Born to Ride Radio. We'll be right back.
Today's best and tomorrow's greats. It's time
for Cranked Up Country.
This is Cranked Up Country, heard on all the great stations across the nation. Check us out, crankedupcountryradio.com, or find us on social media, see what's going on with us. Born to Ride Motorcycle Media is the hub for the American biker lifestyle. Read it, watch it, ride it. BornToRide.com. Check out Born to Ride Magazine, the radio show, the podcast, the YouTube channel, and of course the events. It's the life and times of motorcycles and the people who ride them. Born to Ride, proud sponsor of the Cranked Up Country Radio Show podcast. Read it, watch it, ride it. BornToRide.com.
Today's best and tomorrow's greats.
They say laughter is the best medicine. They must never have tasted wind. The new Lowrider S.
Well, I think we lost the sound on that particular clip right there. Oh, my goodness. Sorry about that. It's Born to Ride Radio, and I was saying we've got Todd Colbert is going to be our guest. He was on that third segment, but evidently, like I say, we lost the sound on that particular segment. We're going to try to get a hold of my boy Squirrel to give us our positive message of the evening. See what he's got going on up in the house, and right quick. See if we can get him on. We do this every Tuesday. Make sure Born to Ride Multimedia. You can check it out, borntoride.com. Everything that has to do with Born to Ride is at your fingertips. All you got to do is hit borntoride.com. The squirrel is in the squirrel cage. What's going on, buddy?
How you doing, my buddy?
Man, just hanging in there doing our thing. Like a squirrel trying to get a nut, as we say.
Absolutely, climbing a tree and going from place to place.
That's right. How are you, man? Listen, I got the pictures you sent me today.
Yeah, listen, now, I want you to know that's not sick, that's twisted. I just want you to
Twisted. That you know what? I couldn't think of the word, but that was it. That thing is twisted.
I'm telling you, what you saw is only a glimpse of it. I'm standing here looking at this thing right now.
Listen, give our viewers and listeners a little taste. You see, give it a description.
Okay, so here's the description. Out of the box.
Yeah.
This thing's just out of the box.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. The frame is rusted and gnarly and steampunk.
Right.
The handlebars are zigzagged and made with bars, cams, lifters, push rods.
Right.
When you see this thing, all the wiring is inside. All the controls are Harley, and all the controls work, but all the wiring is inside these zigzag bars.
Twisted,
The
buddy.
front end has got almost 35 degrees of rake on it.
Wow.
And it's a custom handmade Springer front end.
Dude, I like that fender, too, on the front.
The front fender's probably got 50 hours in the front fender, and the horse's eyes light up.
But, dude, the thing is awesome.
The rear fenders are almost as psycho as the rest of them. I'm still in the process of working on them because I got to make this killer sound system that I have fit in this thing.
I need you next for next week's show. I need you to email me. I'll give you my email, which is flashentertainmentnetwork.com.
You really expect the squirrel to email anything?
I do.
Computer talent.
Listen, people got to see this thing. We just need a taste.
Tease them.
Squirrel, we need a taste.
We need a teaser.
Just give us a taste.
So I have been creating a kind of a build sheet on it, like I did on Kathy's bike when I did that in 3 days.
Yeah.
And if they really want to see it, they're just going to have to come visit me at Angel City.
All right, fine.
Because that's where we're going to unveil this beast.
All right. So you're not going to give me a taste. All right, fine, squirrel.
Wait a minute, I'll still get. What did you want?
Listen, I just want a little picture, a couple little pictures.
No, I'll give you that.
All right, so we can.
I'll give you that. Hey, you're my buddy as long as you keep them yourself. But I know.
Oh, well, I was going to come in for the show for everybody.
No, go share it with the whole world. I know what you'll do.
That is. I want to put it on the show. I'm holding up. You can't see it, but I'm holding up the. It's in Born to Ride, Angel City, right there. All the deets right there.
Yeah, good.
Right
Send
there.
that there. I talked to them again on Sunday at length.
Yeah.
And they're very, very excited about this event.
Yeah.
They're very excited about. Hopefully the insanity is finally over and done with.
Yeah.
And this will be kind of like Dibtown. You might as well look at it as the first event of the year.
Right.
Because believe it, I feel like I've been cooped up for a year.
Yeah, I think everybody feels that way.
And you ever seen a squirrel caged up? It ain't funny.
It ain't and listen, it's not a fun situation to be a part of.
No, it's not pretty. My poor wife, can you imagine what she went through?
Nope. Even on a normal day.
Oh, that's pretty much. What is normal, by the way?
Yeah,
and you know what? That leads me to believe something.
Tell me.
Let's talk about that for just a moment here.
Okay.
So all of you out there listening to The Squirrel, and I appreciate you listening to The Squirrel, and I appreciate Born to Ride and everything they do for us, and I appreciate my buddy Flash, because without him, I wouldn't be here doing this kind of stuff anyway.
That's my boy.
See, I almost forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about? I am a squirrel. I can get away with this stuff.
It happens.
Normal. Yeah, my wife just said, what's normal? Hey, there is no such thing as normal.
Yeah.
There is a such thing as healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to challenge everybody out there that's listening to me to take your normal and just get rid of it. Take our normal of what we're going through right now, and let's just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Let's just stop worrying about what's normal,
All right.
and let's just be healthy.
That's it. And happy.
Healthy and happy. And a normal relationship sucks because there's fighting and there's bickering and I'm going to say this on the radio, and there's bitching, and there's complaining, and there's this, and there's that.
Right.
And then you get to go to a marriage counselor.
Yeah.
Or in my case, 13 of them.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
well, we're not going to go there. That's for another time. See, I am a squirrel. I'm up a tree looking for a nut.
Yeah,
but that's what got me to doing our classes. Life sucks.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? Because there is no normal in this world, and people need to quit thinking that there's normal.
Yeah.
There is a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship with a good friend means You guys are buddies. It's a give and take. If somebody gets mad at the other one, so what? You suck it up. You go have a cold beer and you deal with it.
That's it.
When you have a healthy relationship with your spouse, crap hits the fan, and it's going to. Believe me, it's going to.
Yeah.
There's no bailing out. That's the difference. You don't go anywhere. You know that you're stuck with each other, and you work it out.
There you go.
And remember, I don't know what time it is.
All right.
But as always, if you'll pray more, you'll worry less.
There you go. That's my boy Squirrel getting it done right there, leaving us on a positive note as he always does. Squirrel, we love you.
I love you guys too. Come see me in Angel City.
We'll do it. We'll see you later. All right, the Squirrel leaving us on a positive note. That's all the time we have. Thanks again to Heaven for stopping by. Check out the latest Born to Ride magazine for May. She is the cover girl, and be on the lookout for Florida Ride or Die first of the month. That's going to be a great thing, so check that out. And I will see you guys next Tuesday right here on Born to Ride Radio. You guys have yourselves a fabulous, fabulous week. We'll see you then.
This is Evel Knievel and the Evel Knievel shock-absorbing stunt cycle. You can make them do wheelies, back stands, even mid-air somersaults. And for that big jump, here's Evel, up and over that 4-foot ditch. Evel Knievel, sold separately or with the Evel Knievel stunt cycle from Ideal.
Are you down with the nation? Tiny Trailer Nation, the biggest secret in travel and adventure. Take your motorcycle anywhere. Live in comfort on the spot. Say goodbye to hotel cost. Campers, toy haulers, themed trailers built for any budget. One bike or two. Includes electric, water hookups, microwave, refrigerator, sink, tie downs, and more. Your trailer or ours, new or used. Your dream is here at a working man's price. Tiny Trailer Nation, biker musician owned, a name you can trust.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride. Call 888-795-5779.